Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Gammatek Podcast. I'm Mumuksha Malviya, your host for this exciting journey. This podcast is all about innovation, safety, and the future of industrial solutions. For our very first episode, we are honored to have a very special guest with us today, Mr. Krishna Bhadamkar sir, a renowned safety officer with over 60 years of experience in the industrial safety. Hello, sir. We are
Hello.
honored to have you on our show. So, sir, starting with the podcast, I am very curious to know about your early experience and what motivated you towards safety or what sparkled you towards safety.
So safety was in my mind right from maybe around 15 years. When I was 15 years old, I was traveling with my father who was driving a taxi.
Okay.
We used to drive taxi. And I was sitting adjacent to him. There was a lot of fog and rain. And I think night 10 o'clock or so.
Okay.
And he banged the other car because he couldn't see the...
Yeah.
So then it started in my mind, see how this can be avoided, this kind of accidents, and why. I mean, maybe those days those fog lamps and all were not available, because this I'm talking story of 1958. So since then I was any such kind of thing or small incidents or kind of thing happens in day to day life,
Yeah.
then I used to think of how सुरक्षित कैसे रहे हम लोग,
Yeah.
family. So
Yeah. So, one question, sir. So, how, the practices and rules changed over time till now? I would like to know from you.
you're talking of safety practices.
Yeah.
See, actually the main focus and realization of this safety
Hmm.
has really picked up after 1984.
Okay.
Till then, nothing was happening. In short, any big companies, even like major hazard units like petrochemicals and refineries and all, the safety officer would be a person who is not required or he is not fit in his own department. They used to transfer him to safety.
Okay.
Because safety means nothing, you just go see whether helmet is there or safety shoes, that's all.
Yeah.
There was no safety concept as such, apart from the small PPs like, in 1984, many disasters have taken place. It started in February 1984,
Okay.
a Flixborough disaster at UK,
Okay.
where the entire plant was ruined because of an explosion. It was cyclohexane plant.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one was, famous Bhopal
The
disaster
Bhopal
was
disaster,
1984,
yeah.
December.
Yeah.
I think December. So since then, after 1984, the more focus was on safety, or
Yeah.
it has picked up in safety. And the concept was a total loss control, like Flixborough disaster or Bhopal and all. The plant never restarted again,
Okay.
never rebuilt. So thereafter the safety started.
So, what was the biggest danger you have you have seen so far in your journey, like in terms of Bhopal incident? So, have you ever witnessed any sort of incident?
I have witnessed one such incident in my own factory. That time I was in instrumentation.
Okay.
I was working as an instrument engineer. There was an explosion. It was a petrochemical complex, as I said earlier. And the benzene reactor, there was an explosion.
Okay.
The reactor wall thickness was, I think, 25 millimeters, 1 inch almost, wall thickness. And the catalyst was being oxidized or hydrogenated. So they were using hydrogen for regenerating the catalyst.
Okay.
And the operating people bypassed safety interlocks. There was a temperature trip or shutdown, what do you call it? Hydrogenation would stop in case if the temperature goes high. Are you aware of what is runaway reaction?
No.
I see. runaway reaction, the temperature shoots up in a straight line,
Okay.
and temperature, then pressure also builds up. If the temperature rises, the
Yeah.
pressure builds up.
Pressure builds up. Yeah.
So they bypass the safety interlocks on temperature.
Okay.
6 of them, all the 6 were bypassed.
Oh, so the explosion. will
And the
take
explosion
place.
has taken place about a foot diameter hole and a big fire.
Okay.
And we had to fight the fire because we were in a firefighting team.
Okay. So why is it important to, identify hazards, and why it is so important to focus on safety and the protocols in industry related area? Can you talk about?
See, this safety, you can say the closed circle loop, if you see,
Yeah.
first we have to identify the hazard.
Yeah.
Identify the hazard, eliminate
Hmm.
the hazard if possible. Okay. If it is not possible to fully eliminate the hazard,
Yeah.
then minimize the hazard.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Right? And then after minimizing, you fight the residual hazard, which is called mitigate the hazard.
Okay, I'm mitigating. Yeah.
So this is the circle.
Hmm. So through this circle we can safeguard the thing. Yeah, that is nice. And one more thing, sir. When we talk about safety, so when in your early times, what was the major concern that demands at that time for the safety, and what is the transition of being here, like in our age, like in Gen Z time, what is the comparison of safety?
The basic thing is the knowledge.
Yeah.
The knowledge was limited those days.
Hmm.
No hi-fi equipments,
Hmm.
no mobile phones, no Google. So in my own factory,
Yeah.
when the PVC was being, what do you call it? PVC was being made
Hmm.
in a reactor, polyvinyl chloride. So there is a vinyl chloride. From there they make the polyvinyl chloride.
Hmm.
So polymerize, they make it polymerized, and then it becomes a PVC.
Okay.
So when they see whether the PVC is cooked or
Hmm.
not, they used to open the manway
Yeah.
and put big shovels inside,
Okay.
and then take the sample out. And everybody used to take the smell of that VC,
Okay.
inhale purposely, because it used to give kick. You
Okay.
understand what is kick? Like.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So we didn't know,
Yeah.
no knowledge, and then later on we came to know that vinyl chloride is carcinogen,
Okay.
can lead to cancer.
Yeah, that was another hazardous things. Yeah.
So basically it was a knowledge which was not, people were not aware. Safety
Hmm.
was not considered as, because there is no payout. If you
Hmm.
spend money on safety,
Hmm.
there is no
Yeah.
return back on that. So it's just waste of money. That is what the industrialist or
Hmm.
management used to think. After 1984, the picture entirely changed.
Okay. And how that changed?
Change means now they have the full-fledged
Yeah.
safety department. It's called HSE, Health, Safety and Environment.
Okay. So
'Cause-
there is, I think there is a specific refinery or something like that for it, I guess. So, sir, I would like to know about your rich experience in safety.
Yes, as I said earlier also, okay, I was transferred to safety department in NOSIL, of course, in 1990.
Okay.
Till then I was working as a instrument engineer.
Okay.
The reason for transfer, there are two reasons for transfer. One is the promotion. The second one is NOSIL has signed a letter of content with Government of India for expansion,
Okay.
multifold expansion.
Hmm.
So they wanted some recognition, international recognition, because there was a local resistance against pollution and kind of things, So that was another reason. And after I got transferred, then we got the recognition 4 years consecutive.
Okay.
The highest those days, even now, the highest award of safety, safety management, is Sword of Honor by British Safety Council. So
Okay.
4 years
That's
consecutive
nice.
we got it.
Superb,
Unfortunately,
sir.
the expansion didn't come because of funds.
Yeah.
Mufatlal could not get the funding. It was started with 9,000 crores and 9,000 crores and went to something like 20-30,000 crores. So वहाँ कहाँ से पैसे लाएंगे? So expansion didn't come.
Yeah.
And then the NOSIL started deteriorating. So they announced the voluntary retirement in 1997.
Okay.
I took it and then I joined immediately. The next day I joined in Garware Polyester.
Okay.
So there also they wanted to set up an instrument, not instrument, sorry, the fire and safety department, because they had an explosion in 1995
Mm.
where one of the polyester line was ruined. So there was a pressure from government of Maharashtra
Mm.
to have a safety department.
Okay.
That's why they have recruited me.
Yeah.
So there successfully and with God's grace I could establish, and the results were, they were having 400 plus accidents, reportable accidents
Mm.
every year, which which our team got it down to maybe 1 or 2 a year. It took time, 3-4 years, but it was quite successful. So that was my real achievement as a safety officer
So, yeah.
or safety professional, can
Yeah.
call it.
So is there any sort of human psychology involved in safety?
Of course it is, it is basically the human behavior.
Yeah.
So I can quote you one example. I don't know whether you have heard DuPont.
Yeah.
It's a global organization, and
Okay.
they are in a lot many businesses, petrochemicals and everything, almost all businesses. In 1958,
Yeah.
they have decided to bring. They also have number of accidents every year, and since it was a global organization, so they wanted to bring it down.
Yeah.
So 1958, they have introduced a system called safe attitude encouragement. That is behavior-based safety.
Behavior-based safety.
Behavior-based safety. So more dialogues with people working with the frontline staff. More dialogue with them, more counseling with them, and more
Yeah.
conversation with them, showing the management's involvement for their well-being. So when they introduced this system, I think in 1 or 2 years their graph came down almost to zero, almost, and it is still they are maintaining.
Yeah.
But they are rigidly following that safe attitude encouragement rounds by their officers in all their establishments.
So, sir, what are the safety failures we faced in, like you have faced in all your journey? What was the root cause कि अगर ये चीज़ नहीं होती तो आज वो एक्सीडेंट नहीं होता?
Basically, most of the accidents almost all the accident takes place because of violating the safety standards.
Yeah.
As I said, 1984 it has picked up. So there are several procedures, and every company makes procedures, work instructions and all. On paper everything is there, but implementation part we fail,
Okay.
because either there is a leadership is not
Yeah.
what do you to that up to that mark to get the thing done by their people. So one is the leadership, other is the human behavior. As I said earlier, DuPont has brought up to change the human behavior,
Yeah.
the system, which I have introduced in many, wherever I have worked, right from NOSIL onwards. NOSIL also we didn't have earlier.
Yeah.
So which pays good results
Okay.
in that. And the biggest incidences which have taken place, as I said earlier, the Flixborough disaster, or even Bhopal. There was one in MGCC, Maharashtra. where the plants have got ruined,
Hmm.
that is because not following the safety standards. They did not follow the management change or change management or plant change what procedure. The drawings were made on a floor by chalk by the
Okay.
person who was
On a
actually
very
fabricator.
manual cheese, yeah.
You know, piping change.
Hmm.
So that's why these disasters have taken. Even the Bhopal disasters, they have bypassed the safety interlocks. No calibration.
Yeah.
The pressure gauge was not functioning where the pressure was higher and it was showing lower, something like that.
Yeah.
So most of the accidents takes place because of the human behavior and violating of safety standards or procedures.
Okay.
Our Indian safety standards are very good.
Hmm.
Laws are there, but implementation part we fail.
So when we talk about, like you have recently talked about paper thing, drawings and manual things. So what you have observed as a professional, that क्या उस टाइम से मैनुअल से, लाइक उस टाइम चीज़ें मैनुअली यूज़ होती थी, आज के टाइम पे चीज़ें डिजिटल होने लग गई हैं. सो व्हाट इज़ योर पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू इन दिस टॉपिक?
See, I will right from the beginning I can say, see, I was in instrumentation as I said.
Yeah.
I worked on electromechanical instruments.
Yeah.
Okay. So everything was manual.
Hmm.
Thereafter, the pneumatic instruments came, which were much better and automatic control. Pneumatic से बाद में it becomes electronic or digital instrumentation. From digital it went to DCS and PLC and all. And now the entire system is 2 or 3 small TVs like this on a control room, in a control room, and they work from there. Everything is automatic. So same thing has happened with safety.
Okay.
There are so many programs are available. The permit system is on mobile.
Yeah.
So everyone knows that some permit or some work is going
Yeah.
on, and they check the permit also whether precautions whatever are mentioned in the permit are right or wrong for that particular job. Now sitting in his office, if the plant head, if he knows what permit is going on,
Yeah.
maybe entry permit, confined space entry permit or fire permit,
Yeah.
there are different types of permit,
Okay.
or interlock bypass permit. If it is on his mobile,
Mm-hmm.
he can definitely see what is going on and the precautions which are mentioned there are right
Yeah.
or not.
Much more helpful for
So that will be a help for people, because once the permit procedure they follow, then it becomes a routine job. They just tick mark kind of thing. So if many people know about it,
Yeah.
then they will see it. Same thing happens with change management.
Okay.
The form, there is a procedure to change management. It has to go to many people: electrical, instrumentation, mechanical, the
Yeah.
plant head, and all. Now, if that is not followed,
Okay.
there is a likelihood of.
So you have also worked with the government in improvement, like for the improvement of safety. So what was that experience?
Well, there was one incident at Dahanu in Thane district, Maharashtra.
Okay.
The naphtha tanker overturned in the night.
Okay.
Naphtha is a stage between petrol and kerosene,
Okay.
fractional distillation.
Okay.
So people thought it is petrol or kerosene, whatever. Adivasi Pada, it was nearby.
A
There was
patch.
an Adivasi Pada, because this tanker overturned in a jungle, forest.
Okay.
So these people took their buckets, whatever utensils they had or container they have
Yeah.
collected that overturned tanker which was leaking and took it to home. Now while taking it to home, if you carry water in a bucket, it
It
spills
will drop,
down.
yeah.
So like that it was spilled down. Somebody used a cigarette or bidi butt, and the fire took place right from tanker to their houses. 100
Okay.
people died. The entire Pada was ruined. So thereafter, government of Maharashtra has
Okay.
formed a special committee high level committee they used to call.
Mm-hmm.
And I had an opportunity to be on that committee as an industrial representative.
Hmm.
So a lot of discussions took place. The chairman was the labor secretary of the committee. The transport minister was in the committee, and transport commissioner of Maharashtra was on the committee. So those days, whatever recommendations our committee has done, they started implementing it from 2006. It is all the things are not yet implemented, but still one by one they are doing it still. Like those boards they are putting on highways, green board with a white written on that. So
For
the
the
city is so many
signages.
miles of signages.
Yeah.
Then truck lay bay, if you see on
Yes.
highways, they are
On the
putting
national highways.
national highways and all. Then toilets for them, cooking arrangement for them.
Mm-hmm.
All these things were in that committee. The roads quality is improved now because potholes on the road is also an accident cause.
Yeah.
So that was a good experience. And then thereafter, a couple of times or maybe more than that, I was called for some plant audits at Tarapur and accident investigation or fire investigation recently at Jindal
Okay.
last year. We went there for investigation. So that's what is my experience.
So, as we have seen that AI is now in very trend. AI is very trending, and within 5 years or 6 years, it will be at a boom. So, what's yours? Your opinion on AI in safety, and we can also talk. Like softwares are coming, and certain more developments are going on the safety. So, what's your opinion on this?
No, it will definitely useful for improving the safety standards
Yeah.
of the companies. Like AI, if we can use like as I said, permit.
Yeah.
If the permit is available on mobile, with the help of AI, we can check the permit whether it is in order or not.
Yeah.
As a joke, you can say, but we can put some hammer at the AI and then slap somebody if the permit is not in line. I mean, that way it can be developed, sure.
Yeah.
So one is permit, second one is another circle I call you. We collect data,
Yeah.
we analyze data of accidents, of course, what has happened. We analyze the data, find out the solution,
Mm-hmm.
apply that solution, monitor the solution which is applied, or monitor the data again.
Yeah.
If the solution is right, we continue. If it is not right, we find another solution for that. This is all these things can be done by AI.
Yeah. So, what's your also opinion on creating a safety first culture?
You are right. Whenever I give lectures in the various industries and all, I ask people, which is first, safety first or production first? And most of the people, including the plant heads, etc., they said safety first. I say it is not,
Okay.
because safety and production are two sides of the same coin.
Okay.
If you give safety first, then who will make the production?
Yeah.
And if the production is not there, then how we will survive?
So they go both hand in hand, we can say.
Yes, hand in hand. I always say that we need a safe production.
So how can companies prioritize safety over, profits kind of thing? I would like to ask you.
Prioritize in the sense, as I said earlier, safety there is no payback. Whatever
Yeah.
expenditure you make, there is no payback.
Mm-hmm.
But I also said we have to keep in mind total loss control.
Total loss control. Yeah.
In case if the disaster takes place, your plant may or may not be back online.
Okay.
Okay. And even if it is back online, it will take some time because government immediately stops, the authorities immediately stops the functioning of the plant, and they do not allow it unless they are satisfied with
Yeah.
the situation and the conditions and the precautions what they suggest are taken care of, right? So this total loss concept जो है, many people forget it,
Yeah.
and that is why still there are companies where safety is not looked after as it is supposed to be looked after. Now approximately depending upon the type of industry, we have three types of industries: low hazard, moderate hazard and major hazard.
Yeah.
Now depending upon the type of company, approximately 1 to 2% of the turnover has to be spent on safety. That is adequate.
Okay.
Above that will lose, I mean company will
Yeah.
lose,
Yeah.
and below that likely of disaster will take place.
Okay.
Not too much expenditure, not too less expenditure, so you have to strike the balance, again depending upon the type of industry.
So, what's your, advice for the young professionals, going into safety professions? So, what's your advice for them?
Well, there are professional hazards also in safety.
Yeah.
You know, if the incidents do not take place, safety man doesn't get a credit. If your incident graph comes down, safety man doesn't get a permit.
Yeah.
I mean, credit.
Okay.
But if the accident takes place, then safety man gets a blame.
Okay.
So it is a negative performance which is measured for safety man. This is a professional hazard.
Yeah.
There are ways to overcome also on this. That continuous you collect the data and can say that so much money has been saved by the company, like no fire for so many days. How you present yourself.
Okay. That's the challenge.
So this is what it is now. Decide upon your profession.
So, looking
I
back,
like safety
Yeah.
safety department. After of course I was not liking it
Okay.
because I work longer time in instrumentation.
Yeah.
So there the analysis and all, problem analysis, process analysis, I like that kind of thing. But then I started liking safety because if I can save somebody's life or somebody from getting injured, it's an achievement, no?
Yeah.
So
course.
that's why I started. So this is what it is. When you choose the safety profession,
Yeah.
then keep it in mind that you are saving somebody's life or
Life.
saving somebody from getting injured. And this you can practice in your house, your day-to-day life, outside the company also, not necessarily inside the company.
So, in your career, what's the most memorable moment in safety that you still cherish about?
That I can tell you because I mean
Yeah.
the memorable incident is same rainy day.
Hmm.
There was in 1992 or 93, 94, that kind of thing. Somewhere I don't remember exactly. There was an accident at Shivaji Park, Mumbai. I don't know whether you know the area.
Yeah.
4 uh, sons, all of them were sons of industrialists, 4
Okay.
young people driving a car fully boozed.
Okay.
And the car overturned and all the 4 of them died. It was a big incident that time.
Okay.
So I had an opportunity to go for investigation with a person from Loss Prevention Association.
Okay.
And we were not getting the clue. Tires were good, the
Okay.
road was good. But then we noticed that the divider,
Hmm.
very long, maybe about a kilometer or kilometer and a half, there was a divider like this, straight line.
Yeah.
And then suddenly the divider was shifted about a foot on this side for next 200-300 meters.
Okay. The diversion.
Not
sort of
diversion,
thing. Okay.
the road was straight, either side 2-lane road.
Okay.
But the divider, they were off centered.
Okay.
They were not in center after the break of, there was a cross line. So after that cross line or island,
Okay.
the next divider was a foot away.
Okay.
And the car went over that and then overturned and they died. Big accident because they were drunk and driving in the night, so speed must be very high.
Yeah.
So that was the incident. We could investigate that, and then the divider was changed maybe after 1 year or so, but it was made in line.
Okay. So, sir, what's your hopes for the future industries in terms of safety?
Well, we have made, we means not me, it's a teamwork. Safety is not single person,
Individual.
it is a teamwork.
Yeah.
And safety is top driven, it is not from bottom driven. So
Yeah.
if the top man is, his commitment towards safety should be visible, then only the system will work.
Yeah.
If that commitment is not visible, then nothing will happen.
Yeah.
So safety in future, we have very good systems, we have good law, Factory Act and Labor Act and whatever act. There are actually 47 acts which industry has to follow
Okay.
to run. I had that booklet, but I think I gave it to someone.
Okay.
47 of them,
Okay.
47 or 49. But there are so many acts.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we have a good future, of course, in prevention, because people are learning. There are new knowledge available now everywhere, and young people should consider that.
Yeah.
And it's not only for safety profession. It is you, me, and everybody. Those who
Yeah.
are not safety professionals, think over it. Safety is not a very big kind of thing,
Yeah.
Stretch your imagination.
Hmm.
If I am doing this, what is going to happen?
Yeah.
Stretch your imagination and always think of a maximum credible scenario. कि maximum क्या हो सकता है?
Hmm. The maximum. Yeah.
So that is what is my advice also, and I am sure that the safety will improve.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. It has to improve
Yeah, it has
because we do not want anybody to get injured.
to. Yeah.
Not only inside the factory,
Hmm.
but even on the road, even
Yeah.
in house. Nobody should get injured.
So, sir, as we have Noki Industry 4.0 is coming, so have you met with, we can also say, have you been familiar to any sort of software that helps in safety and permit related things in today's world, or can be implemented in Industry 4.0?
I think I've seen in one of the industries where I have visited. Right, permit X.
Yeah.
And I like really that system. That's what I was telling earlier, no? Or if you can have a permit on mobile for everyone in the plant or whoever has an access to that, it's very good. Only thing is people should see it, what kind of permit it is. If it is general work permit, okay, but if it is like where the result could be some disaster like fire permit, that is hot work permit they call it, or confined space entry permit, or working at height entry height permit. All these permits should be scrutinized by many people.
Yeah.
If it is available on their mobile. Earlier days what was happening is they used to have a hard copy which is with the person who is actually carrying out the job. Now this permit goes on mobile, everybody, or at least designated people, but number of them. But they must scrutinize it, these kind of permits. Then the incidents will further come down.
Okay.
No. So I have seen that permit in operation. I liked it also,
Okay.
and I have congratulated that plant head also
Okay. Yeah.
for implementing it.
That's great.
And I will also, maybe other factories wherever I go, or if I happen to go, I will tell them such system is available. You can take advantage of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So finally, so your personal tips for any safety related, individuals or to our audience watching.
Well, think before you are going to start any activity.
Okay.
Think and think differently, not normal thinking. Think differently. If what is likely to happen, even if you are stepping out of your house, see if there is a step.
Yeah.
Where is a step? What are the obstacles in between? So think before you
Yeah, that's
start any
true.
activity. For factories, we have different. Many
Yeah.
kind of things. We have tie rounds, we have SAE rounds, we have HERA, and there are so many processes, ASOP, and
Yeah.
there are 12 different processes to identify the hazards and mitigate it. So we call it dirty dozen.
Okay. So thank you, Mr. Ramakrishna sir, for your incredible insights on safety, and we are really honored to have you, as I said, on our podcast. So thank you to all our listeners, and we'll get back to you with some new episodes every month. So till then, do subscribe, like, and share.